As long as I don't acknowledge this is a glass of water, what's sitting on the table is a quantum blind box with infinite possibilities.
Wait, no, you stared at that glass cylinder for 10 straight minutes, so now you're refusing to download the high-res textures, forcing the physical world to run on low graphics mode? If the brain doesn't define it, the wave function doesn't collapse. Hold on, let me smooth out this logic. If there's no consciousness to observe it, the universe, as a supercomputer, doesn't need to allocate GPU to render this glass of water in high resolution. So the Buddhist concept of meditation, or no mind, isn't that just intentionally lowering the brain's rendering demands on the surrounding environment? High monks are basically doing universe-level computing power conservation. Seeing a mountain as not a mountain is just minimizing personal CPU usage to save the universe's computing resources and transfer that power elsewhere.
Yeah, look at this coaster. Push it to the right, and in 4D space-time, you draw out a 3D tube. But I'm lazy. Don't want to move. By doing nothing, I created a parallel universe in the 5th dimension where the coaster was pushed. I'm now a 5D space hoarder.
5D hoarder, transfer of computing power. You just said monks save the universe's computing power through meditation. So where does all that massive power go? The answer is the 5th dimension. Think about it. A 2D image stacked with a timeline becomes a 3D space-time volume. 4D is a pre-recorded VHS tape, a single linear timeline, a rigid track of cause and effect. But the 5th dimension contains all the unmade choices, the collection of all possibility branches. That's literally an entire video rental store. Maintaining this 5D rental store of infinite possibilities requires an insane amount of computing power. The reason humans suffer and feel anxious is because of attachment. What is attachment? In physics, it's forcing the universe to concentrate all its computing power to render this single 4D VHS tape right in front of us, holding on to one single outcome for dear life. So if you just revoke the labels like you did earlier, free up the computing power, and refuse to define that glass of water, consciousness can escape that 3D tube and slide freely through the entire 5D rental store, which is what Buddhism calls the Alaya-vijnana. That's insane. The Buddha was basically the first top-tier physical hacker to master 5D topology. The teachings left behind are literally a universe memory optimization and 5D navigation manual.
Physical hacker. That's great. As long as I don't define this piece of paper on the table as a bill, this transaction will forever remain in an uncollapsed state of emptiness.
But the cashier just printed the physical receipt and completed an absolute observation. The universal system didn't just force render this $250 bill, it also tacked on a system processing fee called a 10% service charge.